sounded like a plane crash.
Hey, Beth. What is that? Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a Trade Center.
The World Trade Center.
Number 2.
Yeah. This just in, you were looking at obviously very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed.
As we come on now, we have serious news of a major, very tragic event for you right now. Incredible plane crash into the World Trade Center.
I just heard a loud boom.
I saw that actually.
You did? Was it a plane? That's what I was thinking. It was a terrorist attack.
Immediately, there's speculation or cause for concern. This is the World Trade Center that was the center of a terrorist bombing some years ago. So the questions have to be asked, was this purely an accident or could this have been an intentional act? But either way, extensive damage.
What's this other jet doing? What's this other jet doing? Holy fuck!
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Looks like 6, 7 floors were taken out. And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people are running.
Wait, hold on just a moment. We've got an explosion inside.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll tell you what's going on.
Right, oh my God, another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion. My God, it's right in the middle of the building.
Pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 153. At the count of 3, everyone should be on page 153.
Mom, another plane just crashed into the other World Trade Center. Another plane hit a jet, a jumbo jet. I'm so scared. I'm leaving.
No, don't, Megan. You can't.
Bye. I love you.
Megan.
Mom, I don't care. I'm getting up.
Oh, please wait for me.
We do have some videotape of the second plane, and you can see it there.
Where? I didn't see it. Oh, whoa.
This is crazy.
We're under attack.
Going into buildings.
From our vantage point, yeah, clearly difficult to tell.
We're under attack.
What type of plane that is, but it's a horrific scene.
That's
all
right. We've just been told also, Michael, sorry, the New York Stock Exchange is being evacuated, as is, I'm sure, much of Wall Street, if not all of it, as much as possible. But the New York Stock Exchange has suspended trading for the moment.
It's war.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
David, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're looking at live pictures of the Pentagon where there is billowing smoke. Jim Miklashevsky just reported that he heard an explosion, and right now we're looking at an aerial view of the Pentagon.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. It would appear that there has been another major explosion, this one in the nation's capital. You are looking at a scene of apparent blast aftermath. There is smoke in the air over the Pentagon. We don't know whether this is the result of a bomb or whether it is yet another aircraft that has targeted a symbol of the United States power, but there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. This is coming at 9:43 Eastern Time. The president right now is on his way back from Florida. He had gone there for an educational event. In a brief remarks, he said this was an apparent terrorist attack on our country. We do have a couple of reports, one from AP, one from Reuters, reporting that an American Airlines plane was hijacked, that a United Airlines plane was hijacked, supposedly one of those two planes hijacked out of Boston. At this point, the Pentagon, the White House, the Capitol, and the Treasury have been evacuated in Washington. In New York, all airports, tunnels, and bridges have been closed, and in Chicago, the Sears Tower has been evacuated. We understand now there has been a secondary explosion on Tower 2. With that, we will leave you and turn it over to Dan Rather.
This is CBS News continuing live coverage of the apparent terrorist attacks today here in New York City and in Washington, D.C. It's important to say these things at the very beginning. There is much that is not known about what is happening. The second thing is that the word from almost everybody who's trying to deal with the situation, the word of the day is steady. Steady. Yes, there have been some terrible things happening, but until and unless we know the facts, it's very difficult to draw many conclusions. But there'll be rumors all day, and we're going to try to separate the rumors from the facts. CBS News veteran correspondent Harold Dow is on the telephone now from a section of the city where these twin towers are in flames and smoke. Harold, if you hear us, come in.
I arrived on the scene about an hour and a half ago, and believe it or not, there was another major explosion. The building itself, literally the top of it, came down, sending smoke and debris everywhere. I had to do all I could to run to get away from all the debris. Me and a number of other people here are trapped in the subway here in a shoe store, actually trying to get away from most of the debris. It's just an incredible sight. They had a lot of emergency workers around the building, and of course everybody's hoping that these people were able to get out of there without being injured. But it is a surreal and devastating scene over here, something like I've never seen before.
Harold, exactly where are you in filing this report?
Dan, I'm at a subway station. I just ran down the stairs. I didn't even look at it. It's right around the corner from the World Trade Center, and I'm kind of waiting for that smoke and debris to blow away to go back upstairs. But it's just an unbelievable situation here.
Well, Harold, if I may, take a deep breath, take a series of deep breaths, and then let me ask you, have you seen any indication that would tend to confirm these reports, which have been growing in intensity, that a section of the World Trade Center has collapsed onto the street below? Do you see any confirmation of that in any direction?
That is true, Dan. That's what we were all running from. We heard the building coming down, and that's what we were running from. Literally, people ran out of their shoes trying to get out of the way of it.
There are reports that the Pentagon has been evacuated, and the White House is being evacuated. Clearly, you're seeing now these pictures from Washington, D.C.
All of the airports across the country have been shut down. All flights have been canceled for another 7 hours, which is about 5 o'clock Eastern time, and then we'll reignite there. We'll take a look what's going on after that. The probability of extension, as they call that, is high.
Take two and 2, 1. This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
I hope I live. It's coming down on me. Here it comes. I'm getting behind a car.
Duck it! Anthony, you okay? Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Watch out. I got it.
I'll tell you that I can't see that second tower, but there was a cascade of sparks and fire, and now it looks almost like a mushroom cloud explosion, this huge billowing smoke in the second tower. This was the second of the two towers hit.
Now this is what it looked like moments ago. My God.
The remains of a airplane crash over on Lambertsville Road, and probably had a terrorist bomb on board that blew up. I don't know anything more than that. That's what I heard on the scanner. I just saw the smoke come up, and the explosion shook the house clear over here, and we are, what, 15 miles from Lambertsville.
In Washington, there is a large fire at the Pentagon. The Pentagon has been evacuated. And there's, you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord. There are no words. We have a report that a 747 is down in Pennsylvania, and that remains unconfirmed at this point, and so we will check on that.
From Brother David, an engineer in USA, is: do you believe those killed in America on September 11th were killed justifiably according to the Quranic law? If not, why do so many Muslims hold this view? Brother David, an engineer from USA.
The question posed that, do I justify, according to the Quran, that so many people killed on 11th of September, more than 5,000? Do you justify it as right? The reply is given in the Quran in Surah Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse number 32. That if anyone kills any human being, unless it be for murder or for creating corruption in the land, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And if anyone saves any human being, it is as though he has saved the whole humankind. If anyone kills any human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity, unless if it's for murder or for creating corruption. So more than 5,000 people were killed in 11th September. According to me, the act should be condemned. It is against the Quran. Who did it? I don't know. The press says Osama bin Laden. I don't know. I haven't met him. I don't know whether it's good or bad. I haven't met him. But there are various theories who did it. Some people say that the American government did it himself. Some people say George Bush did it himself. So the act is to be condemned. Who did it? I don't know. The CNN, BBC says prime suspect, prime suspect. Where suspect? Where are the proofs? Can Osama bin Laden do it? Can he do it? CIA, FBI, you know what is the budget? They say not even a bird can fly over the Pentagon, and a plane comes and crashes on the Pentagon. Logical? That also after 45 minutes after the first plane crashed. Inside job. Inside job. You know inside job? Yes. What happened in Afghanistan and Iraq, the American planes coming and bombarding Afghanistan, killing thousands of people. So if you want to call number one terrorist, according to me, is George Bush.
I'll ask a question from non-Muslim brother on the slip. This Christopher Lobo asks, how can you prove that 9/11 was an inside job?
Brother Lobo has asked that how can I prove 9/11 was an inside job? I have got the proofs, I can repeat the proof, it has been proven by other people. just a few days back, there was an article that came in the newspaper that 75 professors of US, they say they believe that 9/11 was an inside job. And in the article, it was mentioned, it came in Times of India, I think on the 7th of September. It says that 75 professors and scientists belonging to different universities from different parts of US, they believe that 9/11 was inside job. And they say that there were some politicians in White House who have engineered the destruction of the Twin Towers. And they say the main reason was so that they could attack and they could have control of the oil-rich countries. Open secret, I told you. One of the professors by the name of Steve Jones, he says that we do not believe that 19 hijackers and a few men in the cave in Afghanistan could have done such a professional job alone. They could not have done it. We don't believe, and by God, we are going to come to the truth and we are going to expose. We don't believe in the theory of the government. They don't believe in the theory of the government. And he further goes on to say that we as being professors and scientists, we know that the steel beam of the Twin Towers, they couldn't have melted at the temperature at which the jet fuel was there. And there were systematic bomb explosions which caused this to come down. Otherwise it cannot come down. There are many tapes, there are many books written against it. I happened to watch many of them. I even happened to watch the video recording of this Professor Steve Jones. And yesterday's paper, we get another news. 3 days later, Professor Steve Jones sent on a paid leave. Imagine, paid leave. There are many tapes. If you happen to watch one of the tapes by the name of Loose Change, 9/11, it was done by a young American of 21 years old. He makes a 1-hour documentary. There are many are there. This 9/11 documentary, it has collected clips from the various, of CNN, of Fox Channel, all the news clipping, he took interviews, etc., and made a 1-hour documentary. And then he says that people who saw the airplane, they said it cannot be a passenger carrier. It looked like a military plane. It didn't have any windows. And when he shows the shooting, when it comes close to the tower, there is another firing done from the wings, which hits the Twin Tower before the plane. Then further he goes on to prove, he says that he had statements of the management, the construction company, which had constructed the Twin Towers. They said, it's impossible. The Twin Tower made to withstand storm, to withstand tornado. This plane cannot knock it down. And it cannot come down because the fuel burns at 1000 degrees temperature. This, even for 2000 degrees temperature, for hours, nothing will happen to it. 10 days later, he changes the statement and said, no, it's possible. Jet fuel can cause damage to the beams. Another professor who gave the statement, he didn't withdraw his statement back, so he was sacked. Furthermore, what they did, that in the documentary they show that when the Twin Towers came down, like how you willfully get down any building. And he gave statistics that many buildings in New York, tall skyscrapers, 40 floors, 60 floors, they caught fire for many hours, but none of them came down. It is the first building in the history of USA. It has come down that way. And he showed photographs that when building is deliberately brought down, how do they get down by the explosion? The same way it came down. There was systematic bomb blast. And people who went to rescue, whether it be the firemen, they were interviewed, they said that we were thinking that someone up was pressing the bomb button. And the bombs were going out, boom, boom, boom. So how the Twin Towers come down, they have given proof. Furthermore, they say that all the proofs given by the government, they analyzed. They said 19 hijackers, some of them, they were trained as flying off the plane. They went to the university and they interviewed the professors. Do you think that this person can do such an act? Impossible. The way the plane took a turn, and I have personally spoken to senior pilots who have flown big Boeings and Airbuses for several years. They said it's impossible to take such a turn. And imagine just a new person of few hundred of us takes a turn. What the experts say, it has to be a military plane. Furthermore, information given by the government, phone calls were there. Phone calls said that they said the passenger in the plane, they claimed that they were hijacked. One of the phone calls was by a flight attendant. She says that buildings, water, my God. She's been flying for 12 years. Hasn't seen buildings in New York. Another person, he says, Mom, this is Mark Bingham. Mom, can you hear me? We are being hijacked. Do you believe? The question to be asked, if I'm going to speak to my mom, I will say Zakir. I'll not say I'm Zakir Naik speaking. He said I'm Mark Bingham. Mom, I'm Mark Bingham. If Mark has to speak to the mom, he will say I'm Mark. He will not say I'm Mark Bingham. He gave systematic proofs. Do you speak to your mother telling your surname? So all the proofs, all the phones were taped down, and then he did a survey that can the mobile phone work at 32,000 feet. When a survey was done at 4,000 feet, the chances of mobile working is 0.4%. At 8,000 feet, it is 0.1%. And 32,000 feet, it is 0.006%. 0.006. There's no chance. And the documentary says that today, USA is spending millions of dollars to reach mobile at that height. In 2001, they did it. Then there are many documentaries. Then the documentary says that there are black boxes. Every plane has 2 black boxes. And the black boxes can withstand a temperature of 3,000 degrees centigrade for several hours. And in just 1,000 or 2,000 degrees, all the black boxes have been destroyed. He goes on systematically. And immediately, after a couple of weeks, Osama bin Laden, he gives an interview on the E.M.A.M magazine. And he says that I am a Muslim, I will not lie. According to me, killing innocent women is prohibited, it is wrong. Killing innocent children is wrong. Killing any innocent human being is wrong, and Islam condemns it. Osama bin Laden giving an interview and saying that. A couple of days back, you get a video clipping from Al Jazeera. Osama bin Laden training 9/11. Because 75 professors say it's an inside job, now they manipulate, and after 5 years they're showing on the television. Why? So here we realize everything, it was inside job. And these 75 professors, they have promised, by God we will come to the bottom of it. Regarding the second attack at Pentagon. At Pentagon, when the airplane crashed, there was no scraping on the grass. Nothing. Only a hole in the Pentagon. And the hole was only equal to the body of the plane. And we see a crater, and they showed on the television, but when the wings went, the wings weren't seen outside, neither were the window panes damaged of the Pentagon. If a plane body goes in and the wing stays out, either the wing will remain outside or the window pane will damage. The building was intact. So how could only in the circumference of a body of a plane, how can the wings go in as well as the tail? I mean, it's fabricated. The people who said that, the plane went just 40 feet above my head. Today science tells us that if a Boeing is flying at 40 feet above your head, that car will fly away. An interview was taken of an ex-military person. He said it sounded like a missile. It had to be a missile. The missile would make that hole. And there was no debris. There was debris, only a little bit debris. There was no part of the plane found there. There was only a small engine of a fighter plane found there. Even in the other place, they only find a crater. Time doesn't permit me. The amount of ample of evidence given there, even a fool will know that this was an inside job. But it doesn't convince George Bush. And what they say, the reason is only to attack Afghanistan, Iraq, and then Iran. They have been predicting that Iran is going to be attacked. They want to have control of the oil-rich countries. So this terrorist attack is for what? One is injustice. Second is for money. It's for power. And many politicians find that he's going to lose the vote. He creates a fear psychosis. Okay, better elect me, otherwise the Muslims will get you and they elected. Same thing in Gujarat. A fear psychosis was created. If you don't elect us, the Muslims will kill you, and the government came back in power. So what we realized, that this was nothing but an inside job. And there are several tapes, several VCDs available, 9/11, loose change, then Fahrenheit, many. And if you see all this, it is a blatant, open secret that this attack on the Twin Towers was done by George Bush himself.
Wallahu alimul hakim, और अल्लाह इल्म वाला है और हिकमत वाला है. अल्लाह के काम इल्म और हिकमत से, और इसकी एक हिकमत आज जाहिर है. आप हैरान होंगे. ये जो 11 सितंबर 2001 का ट्विंस टावर का वाकया है, उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी ये आयत कोट की जाती है. क्यों? जो वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर है था, उसकी 110 मंजिलें थी. और ये सूरत तौबा की कौन सी आयत है? वो वाकया कब हुआ था? 9वें महीने में, सितंबर में. ये सूरत तौबा 9वीं सूरत है. आप देख लें, ऊपर लिखा हुआ है. और तारीख कौन थी? 11. और ये पारा 11. تو لوگوں نے اس کے ساتھ بھی ریلیٹ کیا ہے. اب پھر اس کو آج کے اعتبار سے بھی پڑھ کے آپ دیکھیں تو آپ کو لگے گا کہ یہ عمارت بھی بدنیتی کے اوپر بنائی گئی تھی. ورلڈ ٹریڈ سینٹر پوری دنیا کو اکانومی کے پوائنٹ آف ویو سے اپنے شکنجے میں کرنے کے لیے یہودیوں نے یہ سارا معاملہ رچایا. اب یہ آیت کو ذرا دوبارہ پڑھیں 9/11 کا, اور یہ اس میں جو آخر میں کنکلوڈ ہوئی واللہ علیم حکیم, اللہ تعالیٰ علم والا حکمت والا ہے. علم و حکمت اللہ تعالیٰ کا 1400 سال کے بعد اس حوالے سے بھی ظہور پذیر ہوا. بلکہ بہت بڑی ڈسکوری ہے جس بندے نے کی. اس وقت ہی لوگوں نے یہ معاملات کر لیے تھے, اور وہ تو ویسے بھی فراڈ مچایا انہوں نے, انسائیڈ جاب تھی. اب تو ان کے اپنے سائنٹسٹ بھی کہتے ہیں کہ یہ 11 ستمبر کا واقعہ انہوں نے خود کروایا تھا, اور حقیقت بات ہے اس کے اوپر وہ کھوٹے سکے کے نام سے اردو میں بھی ڈبنگ کے ساتھ فلم آ چکی ہے, انسائیڈ جاب. تو اللہ تعالیٰ فرما رہا ہے ہمیشہ یہ عمارت جو انہوں نے بنائی ہے ان کے دل میں کھٹکتی رہے گی, اس سبب سے کہ انہوں نے کس بدنیتی کے ساتھ بنائی, یہاں تک کہ ان کے دل پارا پارا ہو جائیں. وہ عمارت بھی پارا پارا ہو گئی اور ان کے دل بھی پارا پارا ہو گئے. اب انہوں نے تو معاملہ تو کچھ اور کیا تھا, اسلام کو ملائن کرنے کی کوشش کی تھی, لیکن سب سے بڑی حکمت اسی سے ظاہر ہوئی کہ 11 ستمبر 2001 کے بعد 34,000 امریکنز نے صرف 9 مہینے میں اسلام قبول کیا, قرآن پاک کا ترجمہ انگریزی میں پڑھ کے. بہت بڑی چیز, کیونکہ اسلام کو ملائن کیا گیا, بدنام کیا گیا. انہوں نے کہا یہ کون سا دین ہے, یہ کون سی کتاب ہے, یہ کس کے ماننے والے ہیں. انہوں نے تو واللہ خیر الماکرین, انہوں نے مکر کیا, اللہ کی خفیہ تدبیر کچھ اور ہوئی. قرآن لوگوں نے پڑھنا شروع کیا, اور اس وقت سے لے کر ابھی تک امریکہ اور یورپ میں روزانہ 400 بندے مسلمان ہو رہے ہیں قرآن پاک کا انگریزی میں ترجمہ پڑھ کے. لیکن انڈیا, پاکستان اور بنگلہ دیش کا مولوی کہتا ہے قرآن ڈائریکٹ نہ پڑھیو, گمراہ ہو جاؤ گے. تو ان کو پوچھو کہ گورا جس کا کوئی اللہ رسول سے لینا دینا نہیں دور تک, وہ انگریزی میں ترجمہ پڑھے, اس کو ہدایت مل جائے, اور میں ترجمہ پڑھوں تو میں گمراہ ہو جاؤں گا. اصل میں یہ خود گمراہ ہو جائے. یہ تو ہدی للناس ہے, ہدی للناس وبینات من الہدی, سورہ البقرہ میں آیا. یہ پوری انسانیت کے لیے ہدایت ہے. اگر ہم یہ کسی کافر کو دیں اور کہیں جی آپ اس کو پڑھ کے گمراہ ہو جائیں گے وَلِعَوْذُ بِاللَّهِ تعالیٰ, تو وہ کیا لے گا؟ تو میں نے اس آیت کو بریف کیا ہے, وَيُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. اس سے مراد کیا ہے کہ جو جان بوجھ کر اس میں ہدایت نہ حاصل کرنا چاہے اس کے لیے گمراہی ہوگی. جو نہیں ماننا چاہتا, جو ماننا چاہتا ہے اس کے لیے تو ہدایت ہے. پھر 2007 میں کلنٹن جب پاکستان آیا تو اس نے جیو کو انٹرویو دیا, جو میں نے خود لائیو سنا. آج بھی آپ لکھیں نا کلنٹنز ورڈکٹ آن اسلام 2007 آن جیو چینل, تو اس نے یہ بات پاکستان میں کہی تھی, اسلام از دا فاسٹسٹ گروئنگ ریلیجن ان امریکہ. امریکہ میں سب سے تیزی سے پھیلنے والا دین اسلام ہے. کس وجہ سے؟ اس کتاب کی وجہ سے. تو انہوں نے ملائن کیا 11 ستمبر کے واقعے سے. اللہ تعالیٰ نے اس کتاب کے ذریعے ہزاروں لوگوں کو الحمدللہ ہدایت دی, اور وہ سفر ایسا شروع ہوا ہے کہ اب تھمنے کا نام نہیں لیتا. حتیٰ کہ اب جو ایکسپرٹس ہیں وہ کہہ رہے ہیں کہ 2050 تک مسلمانوں کی تعداد امریکہ میں سب سے زیادہ ہو جائے گی, تمام ریلیجنز انشاءاللہ. تو یہ تو امریکہ تو ویسے ہی فتح ہو جانا ہے, وہاں تو ویسے ہی جمہوریت کی طرف مائل ہیں, تو وہ جمہوریت کے اعتبار سے تو امریکہ ویسے ہی فتح ہو جانا ہے انشاءاللہ تعالی. 2050 تک مسلمانوں کی تعداد سب ریلیجن سے بڑھ کر ہو جائے گی, کیونکہ مسلمانوں کو اور کام کوئی نہیں, ان کی نسل کافی تیزی سے بڑھ رہی ہے. ایک تو وہ اسلام قبول کر رہے ہیں, دوسرا مسلمانوں کی. اور یہ برکت ہے, خاندانی نظام نہیں ٹوٹا مسلمانوں میں. یہ کیوں ہمیں جو ہے وہاں پر کینیڈا میں بھی نیشنلٹی دیتے ہیں, امریکہ میں بھی, وہاں پہ خاندانی نظام برتھ ریٹ نیگیٹو میں جا رہا ہے. یہ خاندانی نظام یہ سب کانٹیننٹ کی برکت ہے, مسلمانوں میں بھی اور ایون ہندوؤں کے اندر بھی. یہ سب کانٹیننٹ کا کلچر, ایون چائنا کے اندر بھی, یہ اس کلچر کی وجہ سے ہے کہ یہاں پر خاندانی نظام ابھی ٹوٹا نہیں, اور اسلام کی وجہ سے تو اس کو 4 چاند لگ گئے. تو انشاءاللہ تعالی اسلام سپر سیڈ کر جائے گا 2050 تک. اور امریکہ آپ کو پتہ ہے آبادی کے اعتبار سے 4تھا بڑا ملک ہے دنیا کا, اور آپ 5ویں نمبر میں ہیں. 4تھا بڑا ملک ہے آبادی کے اعتبار سے امریکہ, 32 کروڑ آبادی ہے, ہماری بھی 20 کروڑ ہو چکی ہے. اور یہ بھی پریڈکٹ کیا جا رہا ہے کہ آئندہ 20 سے 30 سال میں پاکستان شاید امریکہ کو بھی کراس کر جائے, جتنی تیزی سے یہاں پہ آبادی پھیل رہی ہے. بہرحال اللہ تعالیٰ نے یہ حکمت اس اعتبار سے